welcome to the Place to Soar, where our motto is step out and redesign, and the focus is always on you. I'm your host, Anita Russell, and I'm very, very excited to be launching my new show in the city of Pittsburgh, my home city, the Place to Soar, the Golden Triangle Edition. So I'm very excited to be introducing some people, and this couple here, Michael and Vicky, are my very, very first guests, officially from the city of Pittsburgh. I'm so excited. I'm going to have my sister Susan. She's a co-host for the show, and she's going to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Susan, and I am the co-host of The Place to Soar, and I am so excited to be here, to be in the home of Vicky and Michael. Thank you for welcoming us into your home to be here. And I'm going to turn it back over to Anita.
Excellent. So if you can't tell, I'm like super excited. And the reason is these two individuals here, I literally just met them, about a month ago, around Thanksgiving time. And their story just totally and completely blew me away. And if you've been watching the show for a while, you know that I like to capture those personal stories, especially from people who are very, very authentic. I met this couple, and I'm so glad that they're going to be here. I wanted to mention that our theme for this year is new roads and new rivers. Roads equals new opportunities, and rivers equal new connections and new relationships. And that's what I'm hoping that this will blossom into something fantastic. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a documentary on the life of Vicky and Michael. We're going to tell their personal story in one segment, their business story in another segment, and the collaboration in a third segment. So I'm going to start the conversation because I want you all to hear from them. And I'm going to start by our SOAR values. Now, I had you to select two SOAR values that really, really resonate with you. The two that you selected were faith, trust, and belief, and life transitions. Now, tell me why.
All right. My trust and belief in faith came from, of course, God. I truly believe that without neither one of them is no survival in my life. And so I really believe that this was the way to go, to know that without trust, then what is it? It's nothing. Without faith, and which is my strong belief, is having faith, because without it, it's the substance of things that's not seen. Mm-hmm. So faith, it plays a major role in my life, because a lot of things that did happen in my life, it led to me having faith to who I am today. And trust is also the key word. Yeah. Trusting in God, knowing that God is going to stand by in no matter what I'm going through, in my ups and downs, my failures, but knowing that I can trust that God is there no matter what. That's the reason why.
Okay, what about you, Michael? Because one of the things that I thought was really interesting is that you both chose exactly the same SOAR value. So I think that speaks volumes to you guys as a couple being on the same page.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my situation is I chose trust because all my life I never really trusted anybody. Mm-hmm. You know, ever since I was a child, I had to, like watch over my shoulder. And basically, as I was growing up, I had to take care of myself and sometimes my sisters and brothers. And so, I never trusted my mother. My father passed away when I was about 13 years old. So I never had a real relationship with my father. And when he was around, he never really spoke to me. He never told me that he loved me or nothing like that. So I try to tell my son I love him all the time. Mm-hmm. Faith. I've always had faith in my life, but it took me a long time. Growing up, I was in and out of boys' homes, group homes, and stuff like that. And they taught you faith, and I always grew up believing in God and having faith and stuff like that. But it took me to meet my wife to really realize what faith really meant, and she helped me realize, what believing in God truly meant, you know, and she's the real reason why that God is like really, really deeply into my life right now.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
Amen.
So the other one that you selected with life transition. So a lot of times when people talk about life transitions, they're really talking about transformation that has happened in their life either at one point or another point. So can you share with our audience what life transition has meant for you personally?
You want me to start with the bad?
Well, that's your choice.
Well, my transformation, I realized I had a business. I had a restaurant, and I was soaring to the top with this restaurant. And so happened to be, bam, had a heart attack. And then after I had the heart attack, I still was soaring. I got better and jumped up and started just doing Vickey's Soul Grill, the House of Soul. And then I met someone in my life that took me down the wrong road, start doing the wrong things, start just out there. And then after a while, everything collapsed. My whole life collapsed right in front of my eyes. And when it did, I went to shelters. I was homeless. I mean, when I tell you I was stripped, I was stripped. And I know that it was a blessing for that. Because if it wasn't, I think, to my transformation today, I wouldn't have met this beautiful man that's on my side right now. And not only that, we are striving even in a ministry together. And the transformation is knowing that we put God as one. And, you know, women, all you women out there, know when you are in love with God, your prayer is to find a mate that will serve God with you. It's hard these days. But that's what I prayed about, fast about, and asked God for a mate that can be just as attentive to God, loving God, enjoying the praise and worship of God. And I got what I wanted. So my transformation was to have that companion, that husband, that friend, that love God to infinity is my transformation. And I thank God that he took me from when to now. Because this is my now. This is my joy. Knowing that God, we put God first in everything that we do. So now, anything that we do, we're going to soar. We're going to just go for it. I love that your show is called A Place to Soar, because I believe that so strongly. You know, before I even met you, I wrote it down. It was my blueprint. I wanted to soar. So, and my goal was, my mess up was God's setup to my now to soar.
Preach.
Yes, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. So it's really interesting because the word soar and that whole concept came for me at a time of life transition as well.
Yes.
And so the whole idea of step out and redesign, it's all about redesigning your life. Because once you find yourself going through a life transition, oftentimes the way you lived before it doesn't fit anymore. So you have to figure out, what adjustments do I need to make in my life now going forward, because the trajectory of my life is very different, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So what about you, Michael, from that standpoint of life transitions?
Life transition, where do I start? Basically, my life started to transition when I met my wife.
And you guys have been married for how long?
About
4
years. 4 years.
We've been together 5. We've been married. We'll be May 29th. He's right, 3. But
Okay,
May
okay.
29th will be 4.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
But my life started transitioning when I met Vicky, and me and her, we had our rough patches in the beginning, and basically it really started transforming when I got into the church. And I don't even know what to say. My life transitioned.
Oh,
But I can see it's written all over your face that it was a beautiful transition.
Yes.
That it took you from one place
Yeah.
into a better place.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Basically, I used to have a drinking problem. I used to drink a lot. Almost to the point my wife almost left me. You know, and she gave me the ultimatum to, you know, either you stop, you know, because she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And basically,
my word.
Sick and tired of being sick.
and basically,
Exactly.
and basically, so was I. You know, I always, you know, asked God to, you know, take it out of my life. You know, and I didn't have to go to rehab to do it. I just believed in God, and I had like a lot of trust and faith in my marriage, and I love my family, and I just gave it up, and you know, and I haven't drank in about 2 years.
Yes.
Well, that's a beautiful.
That's wonderful.
Oh, glory to God. Yes.
Wonderful.
2 years, and I believe in my wife's dream. I always believed in my wife. You know, she always had the dream of reopening a restaurant, and I've always believed that she would, and I always prayed to God that, you know, that she would, and to help me help her do that.
So can you talk about the restaurant?
Oh,
Like,
my
because you
goodness.
have a history of being a restaurant owner. So can we explore that just a little bit?
I mean, it's a miracle. It's truly a transformation miracle. Didn't know how, and to be honest with you, it was a vision. One day I was sick and tired. I was sick and tired of my husband. I was sick and tired of me. I was sick and tired of everything. And but I just got into a praise in my room. I shut out everything that was around me that was attacking me, you know, because your mind is the worst place, believe it or not. And when you're under so much, you know, I just shut it out, and I just started praising God, praising Him. And as I begin to praise Him, I start to hear God for the first time in a long time. And He said, now it's time. I need you to open up Vicky Soul Grill, Takeout and Catering. Normal, the restaurant that I had before was Vicky Soul Grill, House of Soul. He said Takeout, because I know the Lord heard me in my prayers. I said, I don't want to do a restaurant at this time, Lord. I want to take out, because I want people to have my food in their home, to enjoy it in my home. I stopped the crying. I stopped the complaining. And I finally looked at him. He came in that room, and I said, it's time for me to open up Vicky Soul Grill Takeout.
Okay.
And when I said that, he looked at me, and his words were, okay. There was no stumbling. It was no, really, what you talking about? You know, it was like he knew. He knew. And then one day, this was truly the miracle. This was truly the miracle. I passed by a place, and I said, I can see Vicky Soul Grill Takeout and Catering right there. Tell me why when he came home from work, he said to me, I said, you know what? It was a place I was talking about. He said, no. It was a place I saw too. And not knowing, we both said the same place at the same time.
We were talking about the same place.
The same place. And I knew then that God truly was speaking, that it was time.
That's fabulous.
Yes. And then he said to me, he said, now I want you to visualize Noah. And when he said visualize Noah, I had to really visualize what Noah in my heart, in the word too, but what Noah went through when the Holy Spirit spoke to him, that I need you to build this ark. But in this ark, I want you to put female and male on that ark, in that boat. Well, God, wait a minute. How I'm going to get them in the boat? I don't know. He said, just be obedient and trust. Trust what I'm saying to you. You just do the work and I'll do the rest. So what the transformation was in the trust, in the faith and belief, I knew that God said to do Vicky Soul Grill Takeout and Catering, and he said that he will direct and he will do the rest. All I had to do was just walk through that first door. And believe it or not, I walked through and the door shut. I walked through, then the door shut. I walked through again and the door shut.
Oh, wow.
But this door I walked through, God said, now you're ready. Because you're now putting me first in everything that you do. And now my son has opened up in his trust in God's ministry. So now y'all two on one accord for me. So now I'm going to send you the people to make sure this is what I'm asking you to do.
Yeah.
Now, Vicky, I hear how strong your faith is in the ministry and things of that nature. So tell us, what is it so special about you preparing your food for people?
Oh my
What's
goodness.
that special ingredients that you have?
Well, it's a true secret ingredient. And one day you will know, because I am writing a cookbook.
Okay.
And I am going to have to, I'm pretty sure, in a near future, let people know what it is. But trust and believe me, this ingredient has been around for 1,000 years.
Okay.
And one of them I make with my soup. I make a soup once a year. And this soup, the Lord just gave me a beautiful name. I was calling it something else, but the Lord gave me a beautiful name. And he told me to name it the Garden of Eden.
Oh, wow.
Soup of Miracles.
Wonderful.
But it's just been around. And believe it or not, I say it like this. The Asians know it. China know it. African people knows it. And who else?
That's good right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
and not to
That's
cut
good.
you off, but there was another recipe that you had stated that was in all of your food. You make it with what?
She not giving
Come
us
on now,
stuff.
give me. No, I'm not the
But she's
recipe.
trying to-
It starts with an L. You said you make everything with what?
Oh, yes. A
Starts
four-letter
with an
word
L,
that starts
four-letter
with
word.
Love.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. The love.
The
Yes.
love.
Yes.
The love that I have of God.
Absolutely.
In what God shared with me. Can I just share the little testimony? One day I was in my kitchen and I was cooking and I was looking out the window and it was raining, and I started to pray and I asked God, I said, Father, because I love so much, I love it, it's such a passion. I said, can I cook for you when I get to heaven? Can I cook for you? And I said, can I cook for Jesus? Could I cook for the disciples? And I went on and on and on. And just me and myself, a Holy Spirit, a voice came and said, you are cooking for me. And I said, well, how? Where? When? How? And he said, because everyone on this earth is created in my own image. And I lost it. And that's when I realized that my gift, because everyone has a gift. God bless us all with a gift.
Yeah.
But when you take that gift that God give you and be really sincere, he will bring it out.
Yes.
And so the difference between my cooking and others, and I'm not saying somebody else ain't got this too,
Yeah.
but for me, it is the love of God. So every time the Lord touches my hand when I prepare a dish, I know that I'm cooking for God. I'm cooking for God. When I look at you and I say, ooh, it's something about her. She looks like God. So I'm going to make sure I'm her servant. Everyone I cook for is that I'm being a servant of
You know, I
God.
grabbed that
That is
ingredient
so
side of you.
wonderful.
Yes,
That's what I was looking for.
yes.
So to the audience, I just want to say I've had the soup, and the soup is fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
The soup is fantastic.
I'm going to market it.
Yeah. So what I want to do, because the clock is starting to wind down. I want you to talk to us about this. You got some grand opening thing that's happening soon.
Yes! Come January the 18th, I'm going to soar
Yes.
to at the YWCA 410 9th Street in McKeesport.
Mm-hmm.
We will be opening up on our first day at noon, and come out and give me a try. The new phone number is 412-596-5367. I did it!
Yeah.
You remembered it.
Yes!
That's
Brand new
awesome.
number.
Brand new number.
Brand new number.
Brand new
Okay.
number.
Yes, so we will be there on Friday and Saturday, 12 to 8 on Friday, 1 to 9 on Saturday. And we're looking to even increase more as time go on, but at this moment in time is, we starting 2 days a
So
week.
by the time this show actually airs, the grand opening will have already happened. But trust me, we will be giving you updates, and we're going to be flooding social media with all kinds of information about this grand opening and all of that. So I'm excited. I feel totally and completely blessed that I met you. And ironically, we met at a Food for the Soul event.
Yes!
Which
At
was
OMA,
fantastic
yeah.
with
Yeah.
OMA Pittsburgh, OMAPittsburgh.org.
Mm-hmm.
So we are almost out of time.
Yes.
But what I wanted to do now was just, if you could just share one last piece of wisdom with our audience, that would be fantastic.
You want me or you, babe?
Well, I want both of you.
Oh, okay, real quick. Trust in God in everything you do. If you have a dream, if you believe in your dream, I don't care where you stand or where you at right now, trust and believe and have faith, because dreams can manifest. It can happen. And I know it because a lot that I've been through, it has shown, God has proven it. So just walk through your destiny, walk through your doors. Just trust God and know. And your transformation, even right now, you're at this stage, your transformation can also soar to the highest height. So I leave that with you. Keep on pushing.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Michael.
Once again, it's like my wife said, you have to trust in God first of all and foremost. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to make a decision. If you want to succeed in life, you have to put one foot in front of the other. You can't sit down and wait for good things to happen to you. You got to go out. You got to get those good things. You got to meet good people. Like Miss Anita and Miss Susie over here. You got to meet good people, and God will bless you just like He's blessing us.
Yes, have successful people
that's
around
basically
you.
it. That's
Yeah.
basically
Stepping out on faith and having a vision.
That's
That's
right.
it.
That was
Absolutely.
really wonderful.
So speaking
Wonderful.
of that, what are your final words of wisdom?
Oh my!
Miss Susan?
Well, I wasn't expecting that. However, my final words of wisdom would be yourself. Be yourself in everything that you do, because God created you in His own image, and by Him doing that, that means everybody has their own individuality, and we have our own gifts, and our gifts are to be shared and not to be kept to ourselves. So that's what the stepping out on faith and having that vision is all about.
Awesome.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And what you just said really reflects what my dream and my vision has been for this particular show, especially having relocated back to Pittsburgh. And I feel more excited launching it in Pittsburgh than I did when I launched it in New Jersey. And I think part of the reason is because here I'm able to dig out people that I've known for years,
Absolutely.
or people that I just met.
Yes.
And so when I started off the show at the very beginning, I talked about the 2019 theme for the place to soar is new roads and new rivers. And I can honestly say that the time period, I officially relocated back here 2018, the very beginning of 2018. In that time period, the opportunities that God has presented to me,
Mm-hmm.
the new connections, new friendships, new relationships has
Yes.
been absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
I mentioned omapittsburgh.org. That was one of the
Yes.
organizations that I got connected to very early on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of OMA that you and I are now working together.
Absolutely.
I mean, we obviously
Yeah,
knew
well,
each other
right,
before
exactly.
that, but that brought us together in a
Yes.
way that
Yes.
we've
Connected
never
before
connected
like
like
that,
this
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And going to that Food for the Soul event
Yes.
brought us together.
Yes.
And again, new rivers, new roads, and new rivers. And so I'm just
Yes.
really, really so blessed to be able to have you guys in my
Us
life
too.
right now.
Me
And
too.
I'm really looking forward to all the things that are happening. So I want you guys to, in our audience, to remember Vicky's Soul Grill, Takeout, and Catering. Now say the address one more time.
It's 410 9th Street, Mckeesport, PA 15132. And phone number for ordering and takeout, delivery 412-596-5367.
So I want you all to burn that in your brain because she's really getting ready to roll out something
Good food. Good food.
amazing, amazing,
Awesome.
amazing.
Putting her
Okay.
foot in it.
Yes.
As they say back
All
in the
right
day.
now.
Yes.
All right, so to our audience, I want to thank you for watching this episode of The Place to Soar. I want to thank you for your graciousness and in supporting what it is we do. I want to thank Pittsburgh Community TV for giving me this opportunity to
Yes.
kind of be a part of the community
Mhm.
and all of that. So my final words are do more to soar. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.